Today we're going to look at writing a program where we're going to use a loop. We're going to start out with a simple program. We're going to write it in Khan Academy so we don't have to worry about any of the other details associated with putting together a program. If you go to Khan Academy and log in, you can check your profile. And your profile will have a list of all the different projects you've done in the past. You can pick any one of those projects to create a spin-off to do a completely new project. So this is going to be our moles in holes loop demo. So I'm just going to take out some of this old stuff and then I'll have a new slate to write my new program. In this program, you're going to follow along with this video and download the starter code so that you have some code to start with. And then we're going to put it in our moles and holes. In the instructions here, it says to create a spin-off named Loops with Moles and Holes. I named mine slightly differently. You can use this name. And then you want to paste the text from here into that. Unfortunately, that doesn't look very nice. So instead, just go ahead and download the file. Then you can open it. It will open in a default editor or you can open it in Atom. And that way, when you copy it and paste it in, it keeps all the line spacing. Otherwise, it's a lot of work to put all those line spacings back in. Okay, so what I have here are two different functions. The first function draws a mole. The second function draws a hole. So here's the mole here, and here's the hole here, and we're hovering over the hole. We're drawing a background of green grass, and then I've set a hover distance to say how far I want the moles to be hovering over those black spots so it looks like they're coming out of the holes. Then I alternate between drawing one of the holes and drawing one of the moles. So let's look at what our instructions tell us to do. The instructions say that we're going to create a loop to draw 4 moles and holes. And inside that loop, we're going to randomly generate a position to draw the hole and the mole, and then draw them at that position. Except that we do want to keep that mole hovering over the hole. Okay, and so we can practice creating the loop with this activity. And for the assignment, just paste your working answer into this box. And you'll lose the line spacing too. It's fine. We're going to be talking about style soon, and then we'll have to start uploading files. How many moles are we supposed to draw? Well, the same number that we have on the screen. So we need a for loop because we know there are 4. So we're going to create a counting loop. And that starts with the keyword for. And then we have a condition with an initial, a test, and an increment. And then we have curly braces for what goes inside that for loop. Okay, oh, nose is unhappy because I haven't put the conditions yet in. So the first thing we need in the for loop is our initialization. So I'm going to declare a variable I, it could be any variable name, and I'm going to say I is going to start at 0 because frequently computer science engineers like to start with 0 when they're counting, so 0, and then that is finished off with a semicolon. The next thing we need is our test condition. Well, we want 4, so if we say I is less than 4, that means it will go 4 times. Once at 0, once at 1, once at 2, once at 3, and then when it hits 4, it'll stop, so that it will be 4 times. And that gets finished off with a semicolon. And then the last part is the increment. So we're just going to say take I and increase it by 1. So now we have a loop that goes 4 times. And we want to draw the mole and the hole in there. Let's just make it easy and copy and paste. one of these draw hole, draw moles. We're going to talk about style soon, but usually you want to indent here so it makes it clear that all of this code is inside these curly braces. So this is what's repeating in the loop. So we're not seeing any more moles because they're all being drawn at the same location. So instead of always drawing them at the same location, the assignment is asking us to get a random number for that location. So I can create a new variable for my X position, assign it a random number. Well, I don't remember what exactly the random function is, so I'll click on the documentation here, scroll down and look for random. Oh, here it is. So lowercase random with a low and a high value. Okay, so lowercase random with a low and a high value. Well, I need it to fit on the canvas, and the canvas goes from 0 to 400. So I wouldn't want to go anything past 0 or 400 because then I wouldn't be able to see it. Well, the same thing for the Y position. So I'm just going to copy that and create a Y position randomly. Instead of drawing it at 200, 200, I'm going to draw it at the X position and the Y position, but I still want it relative to the hover distance so that the moles will hover over. Here, in this case, the mole is going to be drawn instead of at 200, 200, exactly at the XY position. Okay, so now we have extra moles over our holes. So let's comment this out and see how well our loop is working. If we restart it every time, the X pos and the Y pos gets a new random number, and then it draws the hole slightly below the position, and it draws the mole at the position so it looks like the mole is hovering over the hole. Now we can make some fine-tuning adjustments. For example, we might not like that our moles are getting cut off, so we could change our random numbers to generate from maybe 20 to 380 so that our moles will be less likely to go over the edge. And we could adjust that even farther. But that's how we can use a loop and a random number generator to draw different things at different locations each time we run. So each time we restart, the loop executes 4 times, generates the random numbers 4 different times, and draws a hole and a mole 4 different times, giving us the result.